this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and I am showing you a preview of the cards that I'm doing for Time for Cake. So this is the August 2024 Paper Pumpkin Kit, and I made more cards, but there were a couple of times I didn't record anything, so I can't show you everything that I made. But anyway, this is just a preview of what I did. So here's the Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I'll just do a run through of everything that came with this kit. So it's really nice. Of course, you get your stamping spot. So this is the navy. And I always have trouble getting that thing off. I think I should just cut it and just let it stay there because it's too hard to get off. Anyway, I struggle, but you get 2 stamp kits, which is really nice because you get a numbers set along with great happy birthday type sentiments. And you get balloons, and you also get candles and the little candle glow from the flame. So super nice set. And the numbers are big enough that easily you could use those for a scrapbook page. So I'm just going to put my little box away. And here are all the goodies that come with the kit. So we get some beautiful rose gold twine, which is really, really shiny, super shiny, like glittery shiny. And we get some balloons for a card front, and that is essentially a card. There's the envelopes. And here are the cake. Here are a whole bunch of, it's a folding thing, and that will go on the background, that dark navy background. And then we have that background for the cards that is going to be for the balloons. So now these are the layers for the cake. And you actually get two strips of the layers. So you get kind of a chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, which just makes me hungry thinking about it. I do love cake. Love to make cake too. Always have been making cake since I was in the single digits. So we've got our little glue dots, and we've got our dimensionals, and these hoorays are just trying to figure out what's what here. Yeah, so those are some die cuts that have adhesive on the back of them. And here are all of our little strips for our sentiments. And we have 4 of each. So you get to at least have a boo-boo, or you have some extras, so works great either way, right? So I got my little dish to get all of my little bits and pieces of trash, and I'm just going to set those aside. And we've got all of these balloons with the rose gold. Look, and these forks. I mean, I love the forks. Big balloons, little balloons, and rose gold forks. And a whole bunch of little tiny candles that already have their little glow in place with the rose gold. So super cute. And one of the stamps is just the size for this particular, oops, got a hiccup, computer hiccup. So you've got the rose gold glow already coming off of the candles. I do love that fork. I have seen rose gold silverware, or rose gold ware, whatever you call it. Anyway, silverware that's rose gold. And there's our little sheet to show you, make it easy to see what the stamps say. And those are some coordinating products that you can get. And so here are my instructions. And the instructions, I'm just going to put all of these little things together with each of the card backs. So everything is kind of ready to go. And that just makes it a little bit more efficient. Better doing it while you're just kind of in an organizational stage rather than just trying to figure out where something is while you're trying to make it. That's really frustrating. It's frustrating for me. I would assume it's frustrating for a lot of people. And I go from organized to chaos in no time flat, just so you know. Just no matter what I do, that's how I end up working. And so here's my little balloon background and all the little balloons that go with it. And what's kind of nice is you're kind of giving your brain kind of a time to get organized of what goes where, and generally what you need to do for each of. Sorry, I think we're having internet problems. Everything keeps on stopping. Okay, so these are card backings. So that's essentially the 4¼ by 5½ inch card. And the candles are going to be, they're a long strip, and they're going to get folded. And it confused me a little bit, to tell you the truth, trying to figure out how to fold it. And there's our little tag that goes along, that holds the sentiment for the card. And I had to play with the folding a little bit to be able to get it. Okay, so I realized that I may have made a couple of cards and just didn't record anything. Or maybe it was just one card. And then I think I did it twice. So, that's life with me. Okay, so I cut the instructions tell you to cut a piece of the rose gold twine 18 inches long. So I went ahead and did that, and as you can see, I stamped the Make a Wish, which is perfect for all the candles, right? So I'm putting both pieces through that little tag, and it's actually going around the folded part of the card. And I'll show you later on how to fold it. But you can see that on the back of that folded piece are a whole bunch of dimensional glue dots. So the twine is going in between two sets of glue dots, so it doesn't go sliding off or anything. And so, see, if you run the twine in between, then you're kind of trying to keep somewhat control on your twine. Just pulling off my dimensional backings and putting the folded part on the backing of the card. So, okay, we'll see. Now we've got the cake here, and the chocolate goes on the bottom, and then the white vanilla with the jimmies goes in the middle, and the strawberry goes on top. So, but you can put them any way you want. I'm thinking it's kind of like mousse, which would be absolutely delicious, right, in a cake? Although my friend doesn't like mousse. So anyway, I've got all these little parts, and I put it dimensional, but really you could use the flat glue dots for this and have it flat against the cake, which kind of makes sense, rather than the filling sticking out. So there's my little candle, and I'm just going ahead and stamping that little candle. And then we're also going to, I think it says it's time for cake. Let's see, or it's cake time, something. As many times as I did it, you'd think I would have it memorized. And it is also getting popped up. And then the fork also gets dimensionals. So just getting the backings off. And there's a slant on one side of the cake, so you kind of have to, just kind of pay attention a little bit that there's a little slant to go along with the cake. And there we've got our different fillings. And there's our It's Time for Cake. And then our cute little fork. And I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals on the candle also. So it's a really cute little piece. I love the rose gold accent on this kit. And I forgot to put the hooray on here, so I'll figure that out in a sec. Ah, see? Kind of looking at it thinking, gee, that kind of looks empty. Why does that look empty? And there we go. Hooray, it's time for cake. And that is certainly how I feel anytime there's cake around. So now on to the third card. And the third card has lots of balloons on it, but you actually stamp 4 more. You get two striped balloons and 2, I think, flowered balloons. And you're going to stamp those in that navy color. Little flowers. So cute. And this is just filling out that card a little bit. You don't think it looks empty until you kind of look and see, oh, there's some empty little corners here and there. And there's the little striped balloon and another striped balloon. And because that's not enough balloons, now we're going to pull in 3 more balloons. So pretty, right? So I'm going to lay the one balloon flat. The striped balloon is going to be flat. And then the big one is going to be dimensional, and so is the little pink balloon. That's going to be dimensional also. You could tuck it behind the big one if you wanted to. It just kind of depends on what you'd rather do. And that's a mighty big balloon. And I think I ended up popping up all the balloons because, except for the one flat one, then the other, all the pink balloons are popped up. I do like that sparkly one. And then we've got this nice curved piece for the sentiment. And the happy birthday is also a curved stamp. So you don't have to curve the stamp, which we used to do with Close to My Heart stamps. We could put a little curve on them if we wanted to. But this one is already set up that way, so you don't have to fuss with it at all. It's just the perfect angle and ready to go. And that is popped up to go right over the bottom of the balloon. And so it just goes over nicely. Just like that. And then the last thing that we want is a little bow. So we're going to use the pink twine, and I made a bow, or I'm going to make a bow, and you use 8 inches of the twine to put a bow together. So I kind of struggle with it. You don't want to watch me trying to make a bow. There are better ways of making bows than watching me to trying to get my hands to work right. And you put down a little glue dot right over the part of the balloon that you would tie up. So the little bow is going to go right over that. So I just have to go looking for, there they are. So I'm going to put one little glue dot there, and the little bow just sticks perfectly. And so that is going to go on this card base. Now that was their suggested ways of making these cards. So, and you also pop up that part of the card. And I kind of end up taking the, cutting a card up, one of those pinkish cards, and using the backs for other backgrounds. And I'd take one of the navy backgrounds and also use that as a backing for another balloon piece. And, so I kind of combine all of the elements to make one card, the very last card that I make. So here is the card. I'm trying to see what I'm doing here. So I wanted to show you how, so you put lost count and you make two, see, I didn't record it again. So you make 2 candles out of the navy and put lost count at the bottom as the sentiment, and that's how you fold that card. And so you've got another 2 rows of the dimensionals, and you're going to run the rose gold twine in between those 2 rows of dimensionals. So it's going to go wrap around. Then I put a little tie there. And then I'd like to hold it, but I really need a third hand, to tell you the truth. So I'm going to put one of the twine through, and then I give up and let go. So I'm just pulling the twine through, making sure that it's still between the 2 rows, and then kind of pull it tight, make a little tie behind there, and then here's my bow. Kind of wonky. I don't know how I got a 3rd loop in there. How do you do that? So I'm trying to make my little bows even here, and then cut off the excess. And so there is my card, the fold part of the card. And this is when I'm going to cut the pink background off. And I cut probably, let's see, I don't know whether I cut off a little or not. Got all my backings, we'll see. So I just used the pink as a background instead of the navy. So one has a navy and one's long, one's wide, and that was a little different use of the cards. So we're going to do the same kind of thing. We're making the same background. Now you don't have to. You can do, whatever you want, but I kind of thought, well, let me just, it's my hair getting all in the way. And I had something under there, and so I'm just going over. And there's the good thing about clear blocks and clear stamps, is when you don't get the right kind of impression from your stamp, then you can go over it again. So here we're going to go ahead and put those down. This one's flat. The other two are popped up. Easy peasy. And it fills out that little card very nicely. There was I was looking at various demonstrators and what they've done. One girl made a two-page 12 by 12 page layout, just using all the pieces from this kit, and it came out really, really cute looking. So I thought, oh, that was pretty cool to take the card kit and make a stamp page out of it. And she cut up the envelopes and all sorts of stuff to get designs going along the bottom. Now this one, I'm just going ahead and using the flat stamps and not the dimensionals. But I kind of need more on that, right around that middle one, just so it can stick to the one big balloon. There we go. And another 8-inch piece to make a bow. I have a little bow maker someplace. I have to pull it out and figure out how to use it again, but it makes perfect bows all the time. And there's my glue dot. And there's my bow. Okay, so now I thought that this actually looks good on the darker background, just because most of the background on this is white. So I thought, actually it would be, whoops, got 2 instead of 1. And 1 on my finger, of course, right? Anyway, I kind of like the white background with all the balloons on the darker base. I think that and then I would take that and put it on a whole cord, a whole white cord. So it just stands out more just because the white against the pale, pale pink color is just showing the envelopes again. I feel like I've made the cake one quite a few times. Now this one I'm doing the way they suggest and just making them flat. So I'm just using the glue dots and not the dimensionals. And this was a smarter way to do it, but it doesn't really make any difference. Dimension. The one thing you do want when you're making stuff is dimension. And so whether it's on a card or a scrapbook page or, whatever you're paper crafting, you want dimension to it. So either way is okay. Time for cake. I wasn't particularly gonna cut that card backing off just because the plate kind of continues on the back and I'm kind of silly that way. Here comes all my dimensionals with the fabulous fork here. and our hooray. Those hoorays really come off nice. I mean, considering how thin the font is, they came off really beautifully. Because that could be troublesome, just with the font being so thin. So there we go. Now this one, so I put it on the navy backing, and then I took the lost count and cut that part off of the long strip, the folding strip. And I put a little edge of the pale pink around that one. And so there I'm adding several elements to that particular card. So I'm still gonna, put the balloons on there. I also add a candle onto it because it is a party and usually have candles to blow out with balloons and parties and stuff. So I'm just kind of putting my balloons around as usual. But so it's using apart from the balloon card, apart from the folding card, and I'm adding contrast to make the backgrounds show up more. So where there's a light background, I'm adding the navy for contrast. And there we've got all of the things all ready to go. So just two pop-ups on the end of that curved happy birthday works perfectly. And there's my bow and my glue dot. And I just like the way that looks better with here's my little candle. So here are my cards. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye now. Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking. Thanks for watching my channel. Please subscribe and learn along with me. Thank you. Bye-bye.